Welcome back, everyone, to another Gaming on the Brain playthrough. And today we got a Halloween special, and we're playing DeathSmiles. So happy Halloween! Thank you for joining us. And this game is probably one of the best Halloween games I could think of, if I'm honest. It's
a pretty damn fantastic shooter. I know that much.
Oh god, yeah, it's an absolutely amazing game. One of the best shooters in a long time that I can think of playing. The original DeathSmiles, released in 2007 in Japanese arcades. We're playing the Mega Black Label edition today, which released in 2008. And it added a couple of things. It added a playable character, Sakura, I think she was called. And it added another stage as well called the Crystal Shrine. So hopefully we'll get to come across that level. I don't know if it's just in the game or if you've got to unlock it or do something, you know.
I mean, I haven't done a great lot of research on DeathSmiles, and to be fair, I've only played a couple of levels, but I was really impressed by it, and I have seen the game before, and I know exactly what it is without having that much experience with it. But I do know about that the Black Label editions of cave games tend to be more oriented around high scores and like championships, tournaments and stuff like that. Like, so we are playing for fun, just so you know. So we're not exactly trying to beat some sort of high score out there.
No, definitely not. We'll be terrible at
it. Again, as Mark says, it's more for a Halloween themed game as well, and it will be fun. So, and I just said, just a disclaimer, I haven't played it all the way through, so if I'm shite, you know.
Played through it once, but not this version, just the original version.
Yeah.
But let's get it on, mate. I mean, look at them graphics, they're absolutely amazing.
It's unbelievably impressive, as it says. I mean, in the couple of levels I played, it was just unbelievable. Like, I mean, it's a late game as well, so I'll be checking every game. Oh, I'm playing as Sakura anyway, so.
Oh yeah, you've got Sakura straight away, yeah. I'm gonna play it as.
It coming as late as it is, I mean, you're into bullet hell now. So, I mean, you've been bullet hell
yeah. So initially, you get to pick from one of three stages at the start. A1's the port level. Can we do the port first? So Halloween thing.
Yeah.
And what difficulty level do you want to play?
I'm going to start at 1 because it's me first. I'd rather do that.
So level 1, the enemy attack patterns are a bit easier, but you get less points.
And there's no suicide bullets apparently because
that's right. Yeah. So level 3, you get when you kill an enemy, a suicide bullet releases. So there's one last.
Every enemy, that's why they call bullet hell. But I mean, as well, this type of shooter is. I mean, it's a culmination of everything we've seen from the 80s, you know, and it's I would say anything after 2000 isn't even an old game anymore, as much as it's 24 year old. If it was from that year, and obviously this is 2008, so a lot more recent than that. And they've managed to perfect this craft, like, to the extreme, you know. Bullet hell, of course, is, tell you a little bit of history, actually, about bullet hell in general. The term didn't get coined until the late 90s, I believe, possibly with Don Pachi, but I could be incorrect.
I think it was, yeah.
Unofficially, it was getting used with games as early as Batsugun by Toplan's last game.
I was going to say Toplan, but yeah.
Yeah, I heard that game getting called a bullet hell, and I do know, going by articles I read back in the day of mine quite a long time ago, that game was considered like the very first true bullet hell shooter, you know. Obviously for a little bit of history, which may or may not be completely correct, but going by what I've read anyway.
Well, one of the things as well about the cave and their bullet hell shooters, I think all are pretty much similar. I mean, in this game you've got left and right fire, and a smart bomb. Like all of them, if you just tap the button, you can move around quickly, but if you hold the button down, it slows your player down so that you can navigate.
You can play it just fine as well, like a normal shooter, really, and just pretty much hammer the buttons where they need to be, so you can, but
holding the button down gives you a rapid fire but slows down your movement. Now if you press both buttons together, you'd see that targeting area there. If an enemy comes within that area, the bullets automatically go for them. So it's quite a nice little dynamic on the control.
There's more strategy now. I mean, back in the day, and when I say the day, I do mean the 80s to the early 90s, so up until say about 92, because 93 was about the first transitional year where we're starting to see games change a little bit as far as shooters are concerned, but definitely up until the early 90s. Games were more about avoiding the enemy attacks in the backgrounds and that, but that was it, and you would often have nothing more than a simple bullet weapon and some power-ups.
Right, so you end up having to do all 6 levels anyway, but which one do you want to do next?
You pick mate, because you know better.
We'll go for... that one, and we're sticking with level 1, yeah?
Why not? Why not for now, for this map as well? But we're getting to see all the... So we do get to see all the levels as well.
Is that, well, level 7's a bit of a... It's not a special secret level, but it's special.
You did say, is this only in the Black Label version, did you say?
No, it's on the original version as well. The Black Label version adds the Crystal Shrine level.
That's
now,
what
I don't know if we need to do anything to unlock that. I don't think we do. I think it's just in the game.
Hopefully it is. And
I hope so.
I mean, it'd be nice, to be honest with you, because it's a nice game. I wouldn't have minded justifying going back and still playing the original version maybe anyway.
It's really good, but I think if you play in this version, there's probably no need because you get this of the original.
This eclipses that.
Bear in mind as well, you've got an energy bar in this one, so it's you don't tend to die as quick, which is nice. But you don't have lives. These are your lives, essentially, you know.
It's quite forgiving as well, though. I mean, we're still early on. We're playing as well, of course. But like I was saying about the earlier shooters, I mean, obviously, you have power-ups and that will change weapons or give you options and little side weapons, side arms. You know what I did there. Or a bomb-type weapon, like I've just used there. Like a smart bomb weapon, and that was it. I mean, they didn't go into the nuance of actually giving you techniques to use that almost gave it an almost, not exactly, an almost fighting game mechanic, where you're having to actually use a bit more strategy within your character's gameplay,
Yeah.
Like they'd have different moves, not just like shooting stuff and using a smart bomb, if you get what I mean. Could have probably worded that better, but we are.
Oh, here we go.
I mean, Spite work is just fantastic. I mean, did this game come out on the Saturn? And I think we've mentioned it.
So it was released on iOS in 2011.
Yeah.
Got a port to that.
Oh, why would it come out on the Saturn? That'd be stupid. It's a whole generation out, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's 2 generations out.
It got released on the Android operating system in 2013.
Yeah.
I've got it actually written down here. Then it actually got ported. DeathSmiles 1 and 2. DeathSmiles 2 came out in 2009 in the arcade, so only a year after this version. That and number 1 and the Mega Black Label edition. Stopped you from doing it. That and the Mega Black Label edition were released on Switch, PS1, PS4, Xbox One, and PC in 2022.
I was completely out there when I said Saturn. I'm not thinking straight. I said, but the cool thing is, I mean, actually, we do have to mention the Saturn because the Saturn had some great bullet hell shooters. I mean, you had Donpachi and Dodonpachi on there. Early cave shooters, obviously over a decade before this game. But again, it goes back to where if you're watching this and you're watching this with interest, then you probably already either own those games or have at least played them at some point.
If you're against, this has been emulated on MAME. Now, I don't think DeathSmiles 2 is playable on MAME. I might be wrong. Please correct us, someone, if you're aware, and if you know how to get it running, give us a shout.
Nice to get that as well.
But you could look out for the sales and probably go and pick it up on Steam for maybe £20 or something like that. And you'll get DeathSmiles 1, 2 and DeathSmiles Mega Black Label Edition in there.
I take it there's not a Black Label edition of the second game then?
Not that I'm aware of, no. I don't think there ever has been one.
Do you remember us talking about Dodonpachi? I mean, I went through a short phase, and it was just a short phase for 3 months actually, where I was really into Dodonpachi and Donpachi and that, and I was going to collect all the boards and that until I realised the prices, and this is about 15 years ago. So prices have changed since. Look at this boss, man. Prices have changed since then. And I think I picked up Donpachi for fairly cheap. Might have been just the Saturn games actually, not the PCBs. But I was looking at the prices and I didn't know about the Black Label version of Dodonpachi.
They only released like 1,000 units.
Oh yeah. To be honest with you, what's quite cool, it is cool, although unobtainably naughty, was that even though the PCBs are clearly arcade-based PCBs, they're not really made for the arcade, they're made for the collector.
Yeah.
So as much as it can be used in an arcade, it's more about like people with a lot of money. I mean, we're talking about Neo Geo level collectors here, well beyond me.
Yeah, but beyond that, I think.
Yeah, maybe the next step beyond. I mean, mind you, some Neo Geo stuff obviously now priced even lower end stuff, like high-end double figures just for the worst stuff.
Yeah.
Like, if you want, like, Success Joe, you might pay about 100 quid for it.
Legend of Success Joe.
Well, we might have to play that mark in. But anyway, like I said, I think the price of the PCB for the Black Label Dodonpachi was like 20 grand. I was like, what the fuck? I mean, I sold my Saturn collection at that point, like, I just sold it. about 30-40 quid each for Donpachi and Donpachi.
Yeah, not bad. You'd have probably got 10 times
At that time, yeah, I know now probably would have went for over £100 each, at least. But
I'm not selling anything like that anymore. It's just going in a box, and I'll sell it in 20 years' time when I retire.
yeah, well, again, I think certain stuff will still just go up and up. I mean, again, maybe a conversation for another day when it comes down to prices of retro software now. Some of it's definitely good, some is not. I mean, obviously doing what I'm doing at the minute, I'm reaping rewards a bit, but you pay through the nose as well to re-obtain that stuff if you want to get it back, you know.
Yeah.
Or get add new stuff to your collection. It's just crazy. But to me now, I mean, I'm wondering if as the older generations of people die off, like the people who would have collected like antiques. I'm not even talking about games now. I'm talking about genuine antiques and vintage items. I mean, you know, ornaments, coins, like anything material that's vintage. As those people die off, and the new generations, like our age and maybe a bit younger, interested in collectible games instead, are these going to be the next antiques?
Yeah.
You know,
think
we're talking
so.
about like, I mean, prices now. I'm saying the prices are like, even games that are not that old. I mean, you're talking about like some PS1 era stuff is like up to 4 figures and that, you know, and beyond. Again, I think it depends on what you're prepared to pay, and if you're two rich blokes trying to bid on something and they both want it, the sky's the limit.
It makes me sad that I like sold all my like PS1, PS2 and stuff like that. When I kept them now,
you could never know that. Like I says, I mean, you could say, right, I'm going to keep all my PS4 stuff, my PS5 stuff.
Fighting you. We're fighting you, I think, Sakura.
Why? Why is that? Is it an evil version or something?
It must be. I mean, obviously, I don't understand the story. It's in Japanese. If anybody who speaks Japanese can make it clear for us, I believe Sakura was a baddie originally, and she joins you in the Black Label edition.
I take it the Black Label's a Japanese-only PCB then? But again, I
don't know, and I couldn't get into the service mode to try and adjust the language, so
I suppose to be interested. Do you know what happened in the later years, though? Definitely by 2008, you'd get one PCB released, and that PCB would just have a language option and would get released in all the major territories. So, as opposed to like back in the early days where Capcom, as a good example, would have a European, a Japanese, and an American. A world version and an American version, maybe you just get one PCB that flips between switches. In fact, a lot of the games have different names. You remember Guardians?
We've got to go to level 3 now. I think for the last level we're going to go to level 999.
What's that do?
It's meant to be insanely hard, but we've got infinite credits.
Of course.
So it is what it is. You get loads of points though for obviously killing.
No, it's good fun.
I haven't lost the credit yet. Have you seen me score?
I don't know if I have.
Yeah, I have. I'm on 1.4 million at the minute. I think that's quite good.
Didn't
For a novice bullet hell player.
And it's not too hard, really. The bullets aren't gone crazy. But do you know so when you say bullet hell, when the term came out, when the term became a thing, all bullets turned pink.
Yeah.
I mean, Giga Wing, however you say it.
He's a boss of enemies, trains.
Oh, cool. But that's what I mean, everything turned pink after that, you know, and that was it. That was the official colour for bullets in any shooter, vertical or horizontal. Although, to be fair, it does work.
It doesn't stand out, it is though, because you've got everything else is pink.
I know.
Even
after the colourful game, like, it's a very colourful game.
It's beautiful to look at. I hope that, I do hope it's like sold well, and you know, like when it's, obviously they've re-released it a few times.
This gets talked about a lot. I said, DeathSmiles, I said, I hadn't really put much time. I only played it yesterday. I knew what it was, although I did think it was a vertical shooter mine, but I think I was getting it mixed up with Kawangi.
Well, Cave are generally vertical shooters, aren't they? They've only done 3 horizontal shooters.
Well, they did Proge, didn't they?
Proge, yeah. DeathSmiles 1, DeathSmiles... Oh, I've died, finally. DeathSmiles 1 and DeathSmiles 2.
What year was Proge again? Was that about 2008? It's early, isn't it?
Maybe 2005 or something. Look at that bull, man. It looks tremendous.
Label,
it looks digitised, doesn't it?
I know. So I thought, well, I've just died now.
Now, DeathSmiles 2 uses 3D polygons, so it'll be interesting to see. I would like to play it.
Right, so what systems is that one on? Is it arcade only?
Arcade and obviously Xbox One.
Downloadable, right.
And PS4 and that, and Switch.
So how would you play the Xbox or PS4 version?
I could buy them, and we could play it and capture it through the HD capture card, or I can try and get it running. It might run on like something like Techno Parrot maybe. If anybody's familiar with that emulator, it plays more recent like PC hardware games like Sega's Linden software and stuff like that, Lindenberg.
Xbox. Oh, yeah, no, I know what that is.
Yeah. So it's all PC architecture. With it being 3D, that might well be the case, you know. But I'll have a look tonight. I plan on doing a little bit of work on the channel and editing this Halloween episode, getting it ready because I want to put some effects in it. So tonight I'll have a look and see if I can get it running.
Do you know what it is? You know what I'm thinking about? A game. This is again 2008, so not that long ago in the grand scheme of things. The fact though that it's bittersweet that the Japanese arcades were still thriving while. I mean, the Street Fighter 4 arcade edition ran about that time, maybe 2007.
Yeah.
So you know, I don't know how thriving they were. They might not have been thriving. You know, like
I think the Japanese culture, people were very much still let's go to the arcade and socialise and play games.
I think it's a lot down to it's like I hope this word's not taken wrong, but like an exhibitionism thing. Like they like people to see their high scores and to see their achievements.
That's the point, isn't it?
Yeah, so
that was the point.
You know, back in the days, back in the early 90s, where you'd see people playing, multiple people lining up to play old Street Fighter 2, like World Warrior or MK1 or
show off your skills, yeah.
Yeah, you'd have people putting the 10 pences on the cab so they could, and you know, there was bragging rights and there was shoving rights sometimes, you know, you got the odd little scuffle occasionally, especially in America, not so much in the UK because we're so fucking polite.
We do that over the pool table, so.
Yeah. 10 pints as well.
My pool table.
Yeah. But
put me pound down.
But and that's a sad thing. I mean, seeing that, you know, not having that anymore in England, like.
I know.
It does.
But mind you, though, our arcade culture is trying to come back, like retro style.
Yeah. The thing is, you've got a very different demographic now, which I prefer in a way, man. I do prefer. I mean, as a young kid, I was always on edge. You know, you'd be playing a game and you could have, like, you know, people would sometimes try and nick your money and that, or you just got, you know, it could be awkward, you know.
That looks like a 3 years long.
It looks scary as fuck. Where now it says, I mean, it's more about like respecting the games and preserving them. So you're playing them, but gone are the days where you'd be stubbing cigarettes out in the cab or spilling a pint. You know, you know, it's all about like treating them with reverence, like so. Which I prefer as I'm getting older. You know, I do like when we went to the Nerg and that. You know.
Yeah, that's a shame. That's finished now.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I mean. I didn't actually enjoy the last one as much, mind.
No,
we didn't go through the last one
lately. Oh, he's at school now. Look at that man. Stop shooting a second. I want a picture of him for the. Oh, there we go. I want to use that for the cover art for the video.
It looks amazing. It's the animation, though. You know, I mean.
Oh, it's a absolute beauty. I mean, just look at the explosions.
Is it a bit slow down though? I'm getting detecting a bit slow down, but that could be the arcade hardware. So I'm assuming that would be.
Well, that's not the emulation because you'd know if it's the emulation.
Yeah, no, I'm expecting it to be the hardware, which is fine. I mean,
is this the? So we'll want to do the. It was the
crystal.
Well, we want to do the crystal shrine as well if we get the option. But there was the level 7 was the optional level. We don't know what yes or no or anything.
Well, the left option's usually a yes, and right's usually no if there's an option come up. So in this, it's nearly always that way on.
Sent it to you, didn't I? So hold on, it was on your. Here we go. So, after all 6 initial levels are completed, so we want to do the Gorge, Hades Castle's the last level, which you have to do. Mm-hmm. So we want to do the Gorge. So there's the final. There's 4A and 4B. That's the Crystal Shrine, I think.
Yeah.
And that's the Gorge.
That doesn't look like a Gorge, though, mate. What's the middle one?
That looks like a crystal.
That does, aye.
So should we do?
Yeah, go for it if you think I'm not too.
Well, the crystal shrine's the level from this game, so I'm assuming it's going to be that one. So let's do that.
Right.
And then if we can, we'll do the Gorge as well.
It might not, though. It looks like it's going to then lead straight on the castle, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
It's going to dodge to the left from that. Now, this is the unusual level.
The crystal shrine.
Yeah, definitely.
Clearly, yeah. This is the level that was made for the Mega Black Label Edition.
Yeah, that's cool to see. If I remember right, I might not, because there has been a few Black Label. I know other Donpachi games in the series. I'll call them Donpachi because that was the first game in the series. Other Donpachi games had Black Label editions, and obviously, I think the last time I lost interest after about the 4th game, if I remember right. So
right.
That includes Donpachi 2 B-Storm, which is obviously the Black Sheep for me.
Yeah.
Although still quite a good game, but it seems the Black Sheep. And then I think it was Donpachi Diorju, if I'm pronouncing that right.
I don't think I've ever played any other than
the first two.
Yeah.
Aye. Well, I played 3 on Mir, and it was a playable game. But one of the biggest complaints was a lot of sprites from Dodon Patchy had been reused. Bear in mind, it's made by it's IGS, so it's a Chinese-made game.
Yeah.
And it lost some of the luster, I think, by what was said. I mean, coming from someone who just played them for fun and nothing else, like not too seriously, I thought it was a playable game. But I could understand someone who took the series really seriously, that it was a bit of a black sheep, like I said. But I got the game after that game, which was an official Don Patchy game again, Dodon Patchy game, and then I sort of lost interest. But there's been at least 2 more sequels after that, if I remember right, and they have black label versions of their own, I think, if I'm saying that right.
What did you think of the Gunbird games?
It's funny you say that, because I was actually thinking, well, I ran out of coins, man. Gunbird, I think they're both fantastic, because I was thinking not of the Gunbird games, I was thinking about the Sengoku Ace games, which Sengoku Blade or Tengai is the name of the sequel, which is a horizontal shooter. But both them and Gunbird by Sikyo obviously came out, like, they're pretty much hand in hand, those 2 series, really.
Yeah.
Very similar visuals and style. Obviously, Strikers, they've got their own theme, where Gunbird and Sengoku Ace sort of fit together. Just the themes are very similar.
So yeah, I know Sikyo are like quite well known for obviously their shooters and that.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think Cave just blown them out of the water. Like the technology Cave has,
I think
used.
I think
it's far superior, like.
Yeah. I think that's been acknowledged in a few times. It's funny, as well, because Sikyo made a couple of fighting games as well.
I know it did, yeah.
And the second game, it's called Fallen Angels. Some people are up in air whether it's actually an official release of it. Was only ever a prototype. The PCB.
Right.
It's crazy rare and crazy expensive.
Fallen Angels, what's that? A fighting game.
It's a fighting game, yeah.
Aye.
I mean,
I don't think I've heard of that.
It looks great. It has some of the development team from some of the King of Fighters series, and it shows in the design of the characters. It shows it's clearly, but I think it didn't do too well as well, because it only has about 8. It's got 8 or 10 characters, if I remember right. And obviously, by the time it came out in 1998, I mean, fighting games by then were like, you had 30 plus characters, and that, you had like Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and I think it came out by then, if I'm right. Obviously, King of Fighters series was just like the King of Fighters. But the first game that released was 1994, and that was I can't remember the name of it. I can't remember the name of the game that released. It's on the tip of my tongue, but it had like, you could play as like Rocky and the Terminator for real. And the final boss was a bear. This is long before like Tekken had a bear in it,
I think I want to play it.
I can't remember the name of it. It's pretty well known as well, but it tried to take a more realistic look. Yes, I know you're fighting the Terminator and Rocky, but in a bear.
Realistic about that?
But the sprites just had this.
It's a crystal knight.
I know. Oh, cool. Like something of cross with Elemental Master or Gynook.
This game doesn't stop getting impressive, though, does it?
It's
one of those games.
Backgrounds and sprites and that, man, the animation. He's actually not as he's not as impressive as the last boss. So the skeleton was cool as hell. So he doesn't have as much animation, but still quite.
It's hard to hit him, man, because he's obviously there.
Are you having to hit the flag or what?
Is it the flag that you have to hit? I'm not sure.
I'm guessing his eyes. He's got his eyes.
Don't forget your bombs, mate. I think you've got quite a few.
Gonna hire a couple of them. He's taking a fair bit going down.
You wait until the bullets release, because then it destroys all the bullets anyway, doesn't it? So
yeah,
you're best off hang fire. You can't get through anymore. The hitbox is very forgiving on this store.
Always has been. I always remember that being a very big point of cave shooters. Oh, he's not gone. But what if you have to hit the thing on the back, which means we have to go around? That's one. Oh, man.
It's definitely damaging him, like.
You've got coins
in
there.
I can't get that.
I can't put coin in.
There you go.
Aye.
Oh,
I think we've got to hit that on the back, mate. It looks about right, isn't it?
He's a tougher boss than the others so far.
He
Like,
is put up a lot more of a fight. I mean, the first boss that went down in about 5 seconds.
They all have. They all went down.
Yeah. The skeleton put up a bit more fight though. Skull fiercely.
Aye, the face in the ground. Obviously, it was a zombie or a corpse.
That was my best boss so far. I thought it was cool as hell.
Aye,
that was genuinely creepy, actually.
There's the crystal shrine, I'm guessing. Right, hopefully we'll get to pick the Gorge. Yes, we do. We might as well get it done, mate.
Will this mean we've hit all the levels? Then?
That means we'll have done all 9 levels, because there's 9 in this one, 8 in the original, yeah.
That's good then, that's cool.
I think I've only used 3 credits so far.
Oh, I've used more than that, I think.
I'm doing alright.
I think
somebody who doesn't play these games often.
It's not solid though. Do you know what it is? It's not Unforgiven. It's a type of game where you'd be quite happy to chuck a few credits in, I think.
Oh, yeah.
To me, the Black Label Edition, this should probably be hard. Bear in mind, I haven't played the Standard Edition. It should probably be harder than the Standard Edition.
I remember when I played it, because it was only a few years back, I remember thinking, you know what, it's for a bullet hell shooter. That was actually, like, enjoyable, and I didn't feel like I was overwhelmed too much. But, and that still stands now. It's like, I mean, I might have lost a few credits, but maybe 4 now, I've just lost 1. And I'm sure there'll be some people out there see a shit at it, but
of course.
I don't feel like I've done too bad.
Well, me, I'm not even gonna judge myself, because I'm just having fun.
I mean, I'm sure it's getting a bit harder now, like, but it will do when you're on, like, the level 7 and 8. Apparently this level's really, really hard anyway.
Do you know what it is though? We've played some stuff like P47 Aces and that, which I like. I mean, I like the game, but it was really Unforgiven, you know what I mean? It's 1995, fair enough, it's a different time, but you know, or In the Hunt, you know, which is another beautiful little game, but I mean, Christ almighty, how unbalanced. I mean, it was near unplayable. I mean, I weren't even having fun with that at one point, I think, which is a surprise, because by IREM and that, you know, I thought, obviously the makers of Metal Slug, some of their developers involved, you know, and Wooden Force and that, and obviously Arclight, you know.
The middle boss, maybe?
Yeah, the big dog.
Alright, it's like a bocked up Rottweiler or something.
It's like it's cartoony at the same time, isn't it?
It's got that cutesy, like, Japanese
it's like a Tom and Jerry
style, isn't it?
A little bit high. Mixed up with a bit of a Western style.
Yeah, I wrote it down. It's Lilato or something it's called.
What, the style?
Aye. Oh, I've died again. Yeah, it's definitely getting harder now, so I'm going through some credits like there's no tomorrow.
There's always a tomorrow.
Well, is there?
And tomorrow never dies. So, I couldn't help it. Don't know why I had to say that.
We're recording this, a week and a half before Halloween. There may not be Halloween, we might not get it.
Bloody well hope so. I enjoy my time.
Very pessimistic view of things. I'm going to try my targeting thing. Oh yeah, it does work. She is targeting them.
I'm fine, I'm doing just well at this. I get doing it.
So there's this level, then the last final level to go, and that's it.
I like it. It constantly throws. It brings up new enemies, and although there's always something new on the levels, no level is sort of like run out of ideas, which I think is a very difficult in some earlier shooters. Anyway,
yeah.
You know, so they've literally the work that's gone into this is just fantastic. Like the effort, you know, to make every level unique, throwing you a few new challenges. Oh mate, cool looking bosses as well.
I was wondering what them red lights were in the background. They're all spiders coming at you.
Oh, aye.
It's just bullet hell. Oh, that's it, got him. I don't think I'll be beating the 1.4 million score, whatever it was I had. I haven't seen many pickups either, you know, like life pickups.
Yeah, it doesn't seem, but it seems to be balanced enough not after neither. Is that the boss behind you, I reckon? That thing in there?
He looks like...
We have to free it.
Yeah, it looks like a cool... Is it a dragon?
Music's changing, so it's... Looks like a dragon, doesn't it? Oh, there's 2.
Uh-oh.
This looks like it's going to be nasty. at least it's a great way of also utilising your 2-way as well. So
Yeah.
you know, it's forced me to use that mechanic.
Oh, jeez. I can avoid the big giant bullet. Oh, it's nearly dead.
I'm actually not sure what's going on now.
I think I got it. Oh, well, I think we got it.
I think we did. I was saying that level was over pretty quick, wasn't it?
I used a lot of bombs on that, mind.
I didn't use any, mine. Didn't use them. Final level.
They released a audio CD and stuff like that for it, a comic book as well, like I'm sure it was a comic book or a novel or something was released.
Over here in it, or over however you pronounce that. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
The Japanese have got their some of that stuff's kind of good now, especially when it's actually released as an audio book, like
Yeah,
the CD.
it was
A drama. It usually does a
that
drama.
was called a drama, yeah.
You'll have like a lot of great, some less well known series have it and all. Sometimes they'll do a one-off game and it'll have a drama CD and a soundtrack CD and everything, you know.
Yeah.
And an art book as well. But it's great stuff. It's like if you're a collector, but also if you want to have material beyond the manual or the game itself, which again goes back to my old complaint. I must say, I brought a bit out where I love to have, as they get called in here over here, feelies. You know, it's nice to be able to have a game box with stuff in it, and some of it's bullshit, some of it's rubbish. You know, some of it can be. I mean, I've seen games where they come with maps, and although sometimes the maps are useful, other times they're just tat. I mean, I watched a video a while back about the very worst sort of like collector's editions, you know, where you'll get a pre-order bonus and you'll get Master Chief's helmet and that. But
there was like the Fallout one, wasn't it? Where
but in and of themselves, I mean, yeah, of course, I remember somebody making a joke about the Master Chief helmet being big enough for a cat to wear, but it can't be worn by a cat because it's like got no room in it for a cat. But it's just a piece of tat. But tat that some people like to have, you know, and it's like...
Wasn't there a Gears of War one that came with a Lancer? I'm sure it was.
I think there is, but one of the other ones that was a lot of complaints about was the Dead Space plasma cutter. Because people complaining that it was too small to, like, it was like for a child, but it's like, well, alright, so it's a cheap piece of plastic, but surely you're not going to walk around the place as an adult, because you should be an adult if you're buying them games, remember, apparently. Walk around the place holding your plasma cutter and pressing the button to make it light up. You're not going to be doing that, it's just a piece of...
Yeah,
it's just a little piece of...
shelf or
that's all it is. I mean, do you know what I mean? Don't expect too much. I would rather still have a piece of unusable tat, right, than a code that gives us a costume or something.
Yeah.
You can't feel that, you know?
Same, yeah. The Fallout, was it Fallout or Borderlands? It was one of them where...
Both probably have got their own...
Yeah, but they advertise like a high quality bag, like a sack or something that you use in the game.
That's right. That's Borderlands.
Shit.
yeah.
Everybody wins
the quality. Well, one of the another infamous one, which is really sad because it didn't come out, was one of the Batman Arkham games. It was Arkham Knight, I believe, was meant to come with a fully transformable Batmobile, and it got canned at the last minute, and people thought it was because the build quality was rubbish. And here's the thing, they found about 100 prototypes at the factory years later, and they're really good. The quality is it's got like, I mean, this thing's not going to turn, it's automatic, so you press a button or whatever, a remote control, I think it'll change from Batmobile to tank mode. But obviously this thing doesn't go through like the full motions that you would expect from a Transformer, but the amount of moving parts was actually quite good after all.
Right.
You know, so it probably would have been like quite a nice piece of kit, like. You know, people were just expecting it to be in canned because it was a complete heap of shite, and it turned out it wasn't, so a bit of a shame. But obviously some of this stuff does turn out to be not that great, you know. But like I said, I mean, if you want to have an art book or just extra little bits that come with the game, it's quite nice to have.
Yeah, absolutely. I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I try and pick up steelbook editions of some games, you know, if I see one in like CX or whatever, I'll try and grab it if it's not too ridiculously expensive.
But at the end of the day, if you don't like that type of stuff, usually there's a standard version, so just don't buy it, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
I know the price is a bit crazy for the special editions, but I mean, mind you, there's a whole other level though of this type of stuff out there. I mean, like the Drake's Fortune edition of Uncharted 2, where it comes with an actual dagger and bits of cloth and stuff that just like feel like they've come out of the mummy's tomb or something, you know. And that's like that sells for thousands because it was more of like a press kit, really, than something available to the regular public, you know. But I mean, again, it's nice to have that stuff just for the bragging rights, even.
I'd get it and stick it in the retirement fund.
But the thing is, more stuff like that probably will multiply in
I'd expect
value.
so.
Especially again because there's not many of them out there, you know. So it's not always about the quality of the stuff you get; it's the fact that it's rare. I know it's amazing to have this in a shooter. Something I would have expected in a Castlevania game.
Yeah. The DeathSmiles 2's got Christmas in the title, so I'm wondering, could we do it as one of our Christmas specials?
Maybe will fit them, definitely.
I'm assuming you'd probably fight like evil robotic Santas, like Futurama or something.
Futurama, class.
But I'll have to look in. I'm going to try and get it running tonight if it's possible. I'll try and get Terminator Salvation working as well.
Well, again, there's a few older shooters and all. Wouldn't mind seeing get that Jurassic Park shooter run as well. I think that's not as old as.
That is playable, same as Jurassic. Same
as Terminator, is it?
A couple of years earlier, I think.
Oh, was I?
But yeah, I think that one's fine anyway. And there's quite a few shooters on like Model 1, Model 2, and Model 3. Well, Model 2 and 3. Like Virtual Cop and stuff like that.
Oh,
I love Virtual Cop. Virtual Cop's probably the best shooter, in my opinion.
Well, I like the Time Crisis, Namco, because that was their big competitor really at the time.
Yeah, Time Crisis is excellent. But I don't know, there was something about Virtual Cop I like the, like you've got the indicator of who's going to shoot first.
I know who's most. They were colour-coded on all the bodies, weren't they?
Yeah.
Blues were the weakest. I think they went to reds or blacks or whatever it was, but they went through.
Time Crisis was the same as well. I'm sure.
Might be.
I had
getting mixed up bits.
Colour coding.
But I remember that was used on one of those two games. I get them mixed up so close.
I might invest in a couple of either a gun for IRs or the Cinder Light guns so we can do it properly, you know.
Yeah. Will they be expensive?
You're probably talking a couple £100 for two. There's a cheap kit out there. Oh, he's Emin, I'm trying to shoot you. There's a cheap kit out there that you can buy, like a Pandora's box of the guns, and it's apparently not too bad. Now, apparently you can use them guns on your own PC, your own setup, so you don't have to just use them with that little box that's not powerful enough really to play some of the more top-end shooters. So if I could get one of those, get it running with like Techno Parrot or something, and then we can play like Terminator Salvation and stuff, that would be amazing.
Well, I've always wanted to play Salvation. I thought it was fantastic. Obviously following on from the film, which was a good film as well.
I mean, we can play them all with a mouse, but it's not the same.
No. Definitely wouldn't mind getting them played with the guns. It's a shame you can't just buy cheap like guns like an L Dreamcast shooter and then modify it. There's nothing like that, you know.
Well, it's the TV, isn't it, that you need? They don't work with an LED TV.
I don't believe he's dead.
No, neither do I.
He's going to change it to something, isn't he? Mark, it's Cody.
It is.
He looks like a goodie. Doesn't look like a bad guy.
If he was a goodie,
Leon Kennedy.
It is. Huh? Oh, there you go. You got eaten by one of those birds from earlier.
I don't believe he's dead. That's going to come and get us. And I don't believe the little float was the fan boss of this game, mate, at all. I knew it.
There he is. Look at that.
Got your doorbell?
Tyranna Satan.
Jesus, look at that, man. That is absolutely unbelievable. Look at all the moving parts in that, man. That is fantastic. That rivals the zombie boss, like.
That is awesome.
The Carter and Few, is that what they call this? I don't know classic music, like, but.
I don't know, but it's the tune, isn't it?
It does. Well, I'm sure it's what you've got your doorbell.
It is.
Oh, well.
Halloween doorbell chime. How fitting.
Look at it, man. Have I blown his head off? Or has his head just changed position?
Nice.
Oh,
he's
nice. Oh,
yeah, he had his gob open. He's squawking at you. Is that would that be a weak spot down there on his spine?
I think that heart. Look at the heart there.
Yeah.
The heart will be blown in the wrong place. Oh, it's parts of it coming off now. Yeah, I think that. We'll stay there too long.
Oh yeah, he doesn't like that.
Not at all, does he? Trying to avoid that. Oh, don't know. No,
Oh no, he's just a spine of a head.
Go away, aren't they? Look with the movement, man.
Oh, he's on top of us. Boom. There we go.
I think he's out of it, like. Unless his brain's going to come back and get
I've beat my highest score. I've got 2.135 million.
I haven't. I've got 5 million, 500,000.
500,000,
But it would have reset anyway. You must have beat the boss.
I must have, I think we've completed a DeathSmiles.
Well,
I don't know what. I tried to go Italian there. I'm not sure why. I think that coffee's kicking in.
I thought that was fucking fantastic. Like
that was excellent, wasn't it?
That's a fantastic game. I wonder who this guy is. Is he? Since he's not dead, I wonder if he come back. He's probably a playable character in the second one. You know, if he sees it out of his way. You know, the Japanese like to do things like that, you know, like redemption arcs and stuff and that. So I'm assuming the second one follows on. I hope it does. You know, the story continues, as opposed to a whole new story and that. You know. This makes us want to play some more cave shooters. Now I think we should just try and get at least one cave shooter in every Gowangi and that. You know,
yeah.
Fight demon babies and that, you know.
I try and vary it. There's
Armed Police Battle Rider. That is a cave shooter, isn't it?
Is it cave, that one?
I think it is, man. I think it's an earlier one, like it's 90s.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So it's Gowangi. I think Gowangi about 1985. I think I'm saying it right. I'm not correct. You're welcome to. It's got lyrics and all, mate.
I know. Let's hope YouTube doesn't penalise us on the game audio only version.
That's another thing in all, though, man. Now it's like, what can you and can you not get away with when it comes to things like that? Imagine when we're finally doing Moonwalker and that.
Well, generally I keep the game audio quiet enough on the commentary tracks so it's not even loud enough to pick it up.
Though? So do you know if there's a shit like Moonwalker, say it's not the original soundtrack, it's a cover soundtrack of the original, can that?
I think if it's close enough it might auto flag it.
Because it's automatically based on an original song.
We've only had a couple of copyright claims and I don't fight them because they don't monetize. Fighting Force had a track in that was a proper track by somebody.
What was it?
Aye. And it was another more common game that we played that had something in that was a proper track.
I wonder what it would have been.
I think it's the level 1 where you're in the lifts and that on Fighting Force.
Right.
But I had an option. You can either mute it during that section, or you can accept the copyright claim and leave it in. I thought, well, it makes no difference to me if somebody copyright claims on it.
Because you're not making money on it.
Exactly. I don't make any money out of it, so I'm aboard. I'd rather let the user have the audience have the full audio track.
As long as you're not making money on it, all you can do is be helping get those sort of tunes out there for other people, you know. And
Exactly. Yeah, I'm sure whatever it is, whoever it is, not many people really listen to that. So all they're doing is just cutting their own nose off to spite the face.
But we mentioned it a little while back. It's one of the reasons why I think a lot of older games will never ever be available for like a paid download. You know, like PSA, well, you know, like PlayStation.
I think that's why Fighting Force has never been re-released. It's got like a licensed track in it.
Well, it goes back like Twisted Metal, where I said TM3 and 4 probably never get released because of the Rob Zombie stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Twisted Metal 1 and 2 on the PSN store to play.
Exactly.
3 and 4.
That's available now. Has been for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know if Small Brawl is. I know Head On obviously is, but Small Brawl didn't do as well, so maybe they just didn't. But that might even be out by now because I would have said, well, they might as well just release everything that they can. There'll always be somebody who'll buy it. You know what I mean?
Oh.
As long as it's got a few fans. And
game over.
That was a stunning little game myself. Like I thought, really enjoyed that.
Look at that, rank 1. How many points is that? I can't even read it. It's 3, 6, 7 zeros, 50 million points.
Yeah, I think it might be 7 now. You might be right.
I think it's 50 million. Aye.
And then this
second is 300 million. Jesus Christ!
Why second?
Well, that was an impressive game. Absolutely enjoyed it. And that was our Halloween special. We'll be back for Christmas specials, which we're still having to figure out what we're doing. But we've got a couple of ideas.
Definitely.
But I hope you have a lovely Halloween. Safe trick-or-treating, parents and kids. And we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.